perimeter guys, too.
Now here's Walker. He's certainly been a consistent piece of their offense, averaging about 14.5 points a game.
The entire defense was frozen-footed. Nobody picked up the shooter, Kevin.
The Magic have gone 6 of 10 from the field in the third quarter.
Let's get the ball inside.
Walker against James. Goes up off the pick. Out of bounds as Orlando keeps possession. Nicholas Batum, he's checked in for the Hornets. Orlando also making some changes. Fournier's checked in for Gordon. And it's Elfrid Payton in for Oladipo. And they double up James. And stolen by Zeller. And even 3-on-3 break. And out of bounds as the Magic will gain possession. Let's take a look at some of the leaders of the NBA. These point guards have been shooting lights out during the last month. Freak number 1.
And that percentage is what you'd expect to see from your big man. I mean, to get it from a guy who spends most of his time on the perimeter says a lot about his efficiency.
He has been absolutely deadly from the field, and that's because he's just as good at creating his own shots as he is at getting shots for his teammates. He knows how to find the open looks.
5 to shoot, and Harris wide open. He shoots. They get it back, and that one's good. James.
That's the third bucket in a row from the paint. This defense needs to clog those lanes in the middle much more effectively.
You just cannot allow the offense to have that quality of a look each and every possession.
Now here's Walker. 14 points for him. Here's Jefferson. Oh, went in there and tried to power it down, but drew contact. He'll head to the line. That one on Vucevic.
Wow, he got whacked on that one. Shouldn't be much debate there.
Blatant contact. Straightforward call. Simple.
And for Big Al Jefferson, he's been a great player in this league, but he hasn't played on that many great teams.
Flying high and throwing down the hard one-hander.
One of his favorite moves right there, guys.
And really, he does that one as well as anyone. Kev, you're right. That's like his signature move once he goes airborne.
And the replay, of course, presented by Kia. What a play. And the dunk by James.
And guys, how fun is it watching this fella just go to work?
Craig, it's not every point guard who can climb the ladder like he can.
Not at all.
Well, I tell you, I think his body control and concentration in the air are really unique.
Well, check out that assist. That's a pair of teammates that are clearly on the same page.
Really left alone that time. Harris has got his second bucket tonight.
A wide open 3. They need much better communication defensively.
Outside, Batum. The feed to Lynn. Tries it from the top of the key. And yep, couple bounces and it falls. Lynn's got 7 points. Orlando's gone 1 of 2 from beyond the arc since coming out of the break. Here's James. And fouled hard that time. He'll get to the line and shoot 2.
Let's take a look at some numbers for Lynn. Breaking down his play since the All-Star break. He's putting up 9 points a game, 4 assists, and 2 rebounds. And the numbers won't wow you, but I like the effort he brings to the table each and every night.
Yeah, great hustle, does all the little things. Just a good complimentary guy to have on your team.
Looking at who's out there now for the Hornets. Kaminsky is checked in for Jefferson. Hansbrough comes in for Zeller. And Brian Roberts subbed in for Walker. Dwayne Dedmon's checked in for Orlando. Jason Smith comes in for Tobias Harris. Batum, good. Orlando's gone 5 of 10 from downtown tonight. 50% exactly. And so he earns a trip to the line. Officials saw the contact and he'll shoot 2.
And if they continue, Kevin, their outstanding free throw shooting, that'll help them seal the deal.
Yeah, they've not missed a single foul shot this half, and that's taking care of business, fellas.
Both free throws good from James.
Boy, you have to like how he's challenging the defense now in the second half. Getting to the line for a lot of free throw opportunities.
There's a screen by Hansbrough. Here's Lynn. And it's Orlando with the rebound. Last time they came together was in Charlotte, where they fell to the Hornets.
Yeah, in this game, they'll want to approach things a little differently, I think. Got blown out last time due to being a little too aggressive on the defensive side.
Well, if I was being diplomatic about it, they were a little too aggressive. I mean, in reality, they took far too many fouls, And because of that, they had to go to their bench earlier than they wanted to.
Kaminsky sets the pick for Lynn. From deep. Rebound by Smith.
And the shots just continue to say no in terms of falling.
And James throws it down.
And that's how the coach would draw it up on the fast break from start to finish.
Yeah, and what a finish it was, guys. Really nicely done.
Lynn against James. And the foul called on Freak. Magic leading by 23. All right, now a chance to set the floor courtesy of Gatorade. Fourth quarter action, all fueled up and ready to go. On the court for Orlando, Oladipo and Harris are the wings. Gordon and Vucevic together in the post. And it's James in at the point guard position. Jefferson setting the pick for Walker.
You know, something that's floating around in the sports world and in the NBA is reseeding after the playoffs start. And for those of you who may not understand the situation, it's simply saying that no matter what seed would play the lower seeded team, however you get to those numbers.
Harris kicks to James. And they double up James. It's stolen by Jefferson. And we've played through about a minute here in the fourth. Walker off the mark, and the drought continues. And with that whole concept of playoff reseeding, so often we'll see a second or third seed team get a sixth or seventh seed team in the second round. Meanwhile, Greg, the top seed plays the fourth seed no matter what.
You know, I think in a few cases it would have made a major difference in how the playoffs would have played out. And quite frankly, I think it also puts more value on the regular season if that number one seed could play a seventh seed, if you will, in the second round. So I think that's something that the commissioner and the competition committee might want to reassess.
And the Hornets making a change here. Williams is checked in. The Magic also changing it up. Channing Frye's checked in for Aaron Gordon. And Fournier subbed in for Harris.
He shot the ball exceptionally well as they've built this lead for themselves here.
Walker against James. Williams a screen. Got a piece of it. Here we go. James heading to the hoop. Drops in the breakaway layup. James has got 6 in the quarter. And now we'll get perspective here on how the hustle game has been going for the Magic.
Boy, their hounding, harassing effort at the defensive end, very impressive. And they forced quite a few turnovers as a result.
And also, how about the points they've gotten in transition or on the fast break tonight? That's been a huge factor as well.
Let's get the ball inside.
And it seems every season we see a player try and play through an injury. Sometimes it provides a boost with heroics, but it can lead to serious damage long term. It's a common practice we see, and some guys are pretty cavalier about it. What are you going to do defensively? Such separation with the height advantage in that matchup.
For those just joining us, fourth quarter here, we're just over 2.5 minutes into it. Pick by Williams. Lamb dishes to Williams. The three-pointer, no good. Greg, a lot of NBA players do play through injury. Last year, for instance, LaMarcus Aldridge played most of the regular season with a thumb injury that required surgery. Mike Conley Clark Kellogg we saw in the postseason play with the mask, with a facial fracture.
Yeah, and it's hard to make a blanket statement if it's good or bad for guys to do that. You just hope the player heeds the doctor's advice and doesn't do any further damage by playing injured. Boy, the pass there floated up to the precise spot where it needed to be.
And no messing around on the finish, huh? He powers it through.
Sure didn't waste any time there.
And guys, that's an alley-oop I guarantee you we'll be seeing on the highlight reels for the next few days. And I bet you'll never see too many guys who can put forth an effort on the boards like this one, Clark.
Yeah, as a former outstanding rebounder myself, I can certainly appreciate what this guy is doing. An extraordinary combination of talent and desire is what allows him to do what he's done today. Great performance.
That's going to be over and back, not watching for the line that time.
They're doing well overall, but the turnovers have been the exception.
So an almost entirely new group in now for Charlotte. Kaminsky, he's checked in for Hawes. Zeller comes in for Marvin Williams. Nicholas Batum, he's checked in for P.J. Hairston. And it's Jeremy Lin in for Lamb. So Orlando going with an almost entirely new group. Dwayne Dedmon's checked in for Vucevic. Jason Smith comes in for Channing Frye. Hezonja, he's checked in for Victor Oladipo. And James subbed in for Shabazz Napier.
And for a long time in the NBA, the stretch four was kind of the anomaly and not the standard. Now it seems that you are the rare power forward if you can't hit a three. Very few traditional power forwards now in the NBA.
And the Hornets making a change here. Roberts checked in. With the stretch four and the need for shooting at the position, they don't need to be a three-point threat, but they do need to be able to hit a mid-range jump shot.
Yeah, well said. I think you need to have guys that can make perimeter shots to create spacing. The game's evolving to a space out the floor type game, and shot making gives you a chance to do that.
Yes, and with this one winding down, it's obvious to everyone who watched it, just a total mismatch and a true show of strength for the Magic.
You're right, Steve. It was a standout performance across the board. They were just, at times, Clark, it seemed toying with it.
Yeah, like watching a cat play with a mouse, Kevin, quite honestly. They were able to do more or less, whatever they wanted to do.
And in the win-loss column, tonight's game will push their record up to 54 wins on the year.
And on the season, this is going to be their third win in 4 games against this team.
And you could see, Greg, how badly they wanted this win. For two very familiar opponents, a win in the season series really carries an awful lot of extra weight.
And you have to look back at this and see the huge game it was for James. He did all the dirty work that they needed, clearing out space underneath and securing rebounds.
Rebounded by Kaminsky and stolen by James. An easy 2 points on the layup.
And this is going to be a fantastic result for them. No win on the road comes easy.
Not in the NBA, they don't. And trust me, they're going to take a little extra pleasure in this win, having silenced an entire building of hostile fans.
Here's Zeller, and the dunk to finish it off. A beauty.
You know, he's got a lot of length, and right there, he needed every inch of it.
That's true, G.A., you're right. You know, we really don't know that much about him in that department, but my goodness, when he gets up, he can go.
Yeah, he can still punch it when he wants to, though. We saw that, didn't we, fellas?
James outside. There's the dish to Fournier. Unloads. Off the mark. And so it's Orlando taking this one by a big margin. This
Good win. Worked hard, yeah.
Well, the outcome of this one never really in doubt tonight. Would you say that this is one of the better performances by this team this year?
This one felt like it, yeah. It's just nice to see exactly what this team...
The 2K Sports postgame show.
Hey y'all, Ernie Johnson here along with Kenny Smith and Shaquille O'Neal. Welcome back for the presentation of our Jordan Player of the Game, Freak. An absolutely astounding and historic night for him here in this game. And that'll do it for our coverage of this year's final regular